The Houthi rebels' control of Hodeidah port west of Yemen has exacerbated the humanitarian crisis in the country because the port is the only gate for aid's entry. This report has more details.
Since the war began 8 years ago, it has become normal to describe the situation as the largest humanitarian crisis in the world. It is also the worst international response to a humanitarian crisis, as international organizations have failed to ensure aid reaches Yemenis in need. There has been massive imbalances in the relief process. Most of the Yemeni population is under the control of armed Houthis, who seize humanitarian aid before it reaches those for which it's intended. Further, weak government institutions impede the travel and movement of relief workers. Relief operations must be reassessed and held accountable to ensure that aid is not wasted. Maisa Shuja al-Din, fellow at Sana'a Center for Strategic Studies, urged the Security Council to address the crisis through establishing and funding a coordinating mechanism for the delivery of humanitarian aid, alleviating the financial isolation of Yemeni banks, ensuring delivery of COVID-19 vaccines to all parts of the country, and stopping the supply of weapons to warring parties. The amounts of money that allocated, whether from the international community or regional organizations, is huge, reaching $2.1 billion last year. If you compare these amounts of money to the situation of Yemenis, you will find a large gap. Based on the views of random sectors from 5 governorates, relief does not reach many Yemenis. It's taken by Houthis who do not hand over any part of it to the non-followers. When we look back at the details of the crisis, we find out that 80% of the aids reached Houthis from the international organizations through Al Hodeidah port, at a time when the governorates suffer from a major famine. The Houthi militia have been tampering with available humanitarian aid, selling it on the black market and distributing the products among themselves and their families. Dozens of men, women, elders, and children trapped in the Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen are on the verge of death due to famine and absence of humanitarian aid. At the end of the day, the best relief for Yemenis is ending the war.